Welcome to Daydream Manor and my journey to become a cut flower farmer. I am a beginner and I had this idea. Actually, I got this idea from a Facebook group I'm in. Another flower farmer who's in her third year was talking about every year she gets out in weekly videos to see the growth of her flowers and to keep just to keep a journal. And so while this is probably easier and much faster than trying to write it all down for me, so we're going to give it a try. So every Friday morning, I'm going to try to get out here and give you a little tour of what's happening. So a little backstory. We sit on 10 acres. We've lived on the property for about 6 years. We recently just finished our home. I never say a forever home because I think there's always a plan, and so I'm not going to call it my forever home, but it is where we are. So we just finished building it. We've been in it about a year, still have some things to do around, and I kept thinking the whole time before we started building was, what can we do with this property that we'll enjoy and maybe make a little money off of, and what can we grow? I will tell you, when you start researching it, it is amazing the things you can grow in South Louisiana. So that's where I am. Last December, I came across Lisa Mason Ziegler's book, Cool Season Flowers, and was like hooked. Like, oh no, this may be it. I think this is where we're going. Fast forward, COVID. Ended up having to work from home quite a bit. We started a spring garden. The vegetables were plentiful. So we had a ton of squash and okra. Gosh, what else did we grow? Peppers. We grew all kind of stuff. It was crazy. And it was flourishing. And so before we started tearing everything down, I was like, you know what? It's time. And I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So some of the stuff we already had on hand. And I'm just going to show you around, and this is going to be my journal as well to see how things grow. This is my experimental year, so I'll have time to change it if I have to. So we're going to flip this around, and we're going to enter into the space we have. So right now we have it all blocked in because of, we do have deer that crosses the property. The other morning there was a bobcat that went across. We've seen rabbits. There's been a few fox. So there's some wildlife pressure, and I don't want to be what I'm trying to grow. So we did get this rigged up. We also had this up for our vegetable garden, and it worked well. So right now, all I have is 7 rows, and we did the raised beds like in Lisa's book. Still have some work to do on them. Still have to get my pathways finished up. That's for this weekend. But what I want to show you is, and what I want to keep a record of, is how these plants look. This weather has been really crazy. I mean, along with everything else in 2020. Surprise, surprise, right? So I felt like the pressure was on because you really should have these in the ground 6 weeks before your first frost. And according to the Farmer's Almanac, for us, that's like November 23rd. But what's today? Today is the 20th. And I can have shorts on. So you never know what you're going to get. So I went ahead and got these in. But these first 2 rows that I'm going to go down, because I want to get shots of these, I started from seed in a spare bedroom, in my guest bedroom, with some grow lights. Actually, shop lights that we picked up at Home Depot, and some shelving. The landscape cloth is stuff we had left over from when we did our driveway. So I was like, I'm not buying anything else. We're just going to grab this and we're going to go with it. So try to do this as economical as possible this year. Like I said, this is my experimental year. I want to know what grows, how it grows, how much attention does it need, what makes pretty bouquets, how do I harvest it, how much time is it really going to take? So I tried to keep it under control and tried to do a sampling of several different winter hardy plants. So just real quickly, let's run through, and I want to get a shot of some of these. So this first group is Calangela, and as you can see, some of it did not survive. Some are growing well. I will tell you, when I when I seeded these and I had them in a 72 count tray, they got real leggy. So I got to work on that because I'm not real sure what that was about. I thought it was because they were reaching for the light, but the light was low on them. So I got to figure that piece out. So I went ahead and planted them anyway. We're going to see what happens. I do see some grass popping up that I need to go ahead and get out this weekend as well. So some more work to do. This whole row is straw flower. I got really excited looking at some videos and watching and on Instagram watching folks who are drying these, and they use these on wreaths. Oh my God, these flowers are gorgeous dried out. So maybe that'll be something I can learn to do. Yeah, see, some of these just did not make it. Now, if you notice, I do not have any drip lines on these for the fall because they are hand watered, simply because they don't need to be watered every day. And I really didn't know how they would do in the frost. The 1 or 2 frosts we may get. So when I redo these beds, because I'm going to redo some things when I go to put my next round in, which will be before the last frost, those will have the drip tape in them. So this is Omni. Now these things grow so big, but some of them just didn't. It's so crazy. These were all done at the same time. Like, look how big they are. So now I'm a little worried they're too big to go into a frost, but we're just rolling with it. This is Yarrow. These were so little, so they are getting bigger. Oh, I can't wait to see next week. Oh, I love this. This is why I am doing this, so I can have something to compare it to. This is Lambada. This is looking good. These were T92, like really, really small. So look, those didn't make it. Ooh, I got to get some of this grass. Look at this grass. Boy, I tell you what, weeds are just, they just grow. That is something else. This is stock. So if you notice, I didn't do a whole lot of it because I'm just trying to figure it out. Now, some of these seeds came in packs of 200, so I have more of some things not. I think we're coming up on Sweet William. Whew, I have struggled with this to get this to even this size. This was, for me, for some reason, was not an easy germination. This was, I think, my second attempt at these, but they're in the ground, so we'll see. This is Rebecca, or Black-Eyed Susans. Supposedly, these are supposed to be easy. Okay, we'll see. Not a fan. This is some sweet pea. Some more that I have. No, I'm sorry. This is my sweet pea here. I direct sowed sweet pea, and nothing's happened. This was just done on the 17th, I believe, the 17th or the 18th, like 2 or 3 days ago. So I don't really expect to see anything popping up out of here. So this row was also done on the 18th. I try to do them like in big groups, just so I can keep up with it. So this is Bachelor Buttons. It's going to be here. If you'll notice all these wood stakes, so on the wood stakes I've written what they are, when they were planted, and how many. This next group is going to be Deal. So Deal is beautiful. I don't know if you've really even taken the time to look at it, but Deal in a bouquet is gorgeous. And it has a great fragrance. So I did do Deal. And then my last group here is Bells of Ireland. So we're going to see how these turn out. Not a whole lot to see here. My last little group, all the way up at the top, is Larkspur. So not really sure how that's going to turn out either. I'm hoping to see some things pop up in the next week or so. So the last 3 rows that I still have to work on, and I am a little behind because, again, by the time I really decided I was getting into it, time was getting away from me. So I'm trying to play catch up this year. So I still have to work on these, bring in some more compost and get that ready. But this is where my tulips and daffodils are going to go, where my bulbs will be. So I'll dig that out and plant those there. So right now we're just doing these 7. They are 67 foot long and 30 inches wide. Hopefully, the big dream. I mean, if I'm going to dream, might as well dream big. I'm sure a lot of folks say that, and then they're like, oh God, what did I get myself into? But the big dream is to hopefully one day have this field. I'd love to have a hoop house or in a greenhouse in that area. But I'd love for this to become a U-pick and to hold some events out here. So that's the big dream here at Daydream Manor. I appreciate you listening, and stay tuned. Every week we'll check on the progress of these little babies, and we'll see if I can cut it as a flower farmer. So thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your day.